Okay, so you're about to call your plumber and have him replace your garbage disposal. I'm going to tell you not to do that. You know why? Because your plumber is going to charge you anywhere between $200 and $300. He's going to come out, he's going to spend an hour doing it, he's going to buy you a new disposal. Very easy if you want to go that way, but if you want to save money, I'm going to show you how to do it for less than $100 and put it on in less than 15 minutes.
Moo.
Before you call your plumber and replace your disposal because it's not spinning, you're turning on a switch and just going, do not call the plumber. Instead, look for one of these underneath your sink. What this tool does is you put it in the bottom of the disposal, like right under here, and you can spin it like this, and that will loosen up any debris that's clogged the disposal. The plumber will come out and do this for you, and he'll only charge you probably 75 bucks. But you can do it for free. If your disposal does not have one of these that came with it, this is a standard Allen wrench. So go to Home Depot, buy yourself a nice Allen wrench set. Good excuse to buy a tool now. And anyways, just put this in there and twist it. Your disposal will work great after that. If your disposal is leaking, you'll need to replace it. There is no fix for a disposal that is leaking except to replace it. And we're going to show you how to do that for under $100 in less than 15 minutes.
Moo.
Okay, so we're going to get started now. The secret to buying your garbage disposal is buy the same one that's underneath your sink right now. So look under your sink, and hopefully what you'll have is the Badger InSinkErator garbage disposal. These are very common. They're industry standard. Every track home uses them. The only difference between these disposals is horsepower. So they'll have half horsepower, 3/4 horsepower. They'll have 1 horsepower. They'll have insulated disposals. Get the same one. If you want to get one that's bigger, you can. It'll just take you a little bit longer to install it. But if you get the same one, it'll take you less than 15 minutes to switch them out. You will buy the same disposal because all the fittings will line up. So on your disposal, you have a drain like this that screws on. You have a down angle like this, and you have electrical. This is the old disposal. But we've already replaced it, but now you're going to see the film showing how we replaced it. But all these things line up between your new and your disposal if you get the same one. So don't tell a homeowner I just dripped stuff all over her floor. She'll probably be upset. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And I'm going to do it in less than 15 minutes, and we're going to keep the camera rolling without any cuts, just so you know. So let's get started.
Moo.
Okay, so as you see here, I have my new disposal right here, Badger 500. The reason why we get the exact same ones is all of the fittings are the same. The drain's the same size. The connector on the back is the same size. So basically what we're going to do, first thing we're going to do is pull out the old one. You want to unplug it first. From the back, there's basically only 3 connections. You unplug it from the back. I'm sorry, 4 connections. There's a hose on the back. You can't see it in this camera right here, but it is right here. And you take a screwdriver and take off the clamp. Unscrew that, and then you pull off the hose. That's like that. So the clamp looks like this. I just slid that off the hose. You're going to reuse that, so don't throw it away. And then back here, the trap connects to the down angle on the garbage disposal. Just it's hand tight, so you just unscrew that. And then this collar right here, you hit that off with a hammer. As you're looking at the sink, looking up, is clockwise to tighten, counterclockwise to loosen. So you take your baby hammer. This is why you have a baby hammer, because you don't have much room to swing a hammer. Get your hand underneath it like this and hit this ring off. It will then come loose. You swing it around to lift it up from the drain right there, just like that, and you are halfway there. So the only part you'll need is the clamp I originally showed you. You'll need this ring and this ring and this washer from your old disposal. We'll also need to get the old cord. The disposals do not come with a cord. So you're unplugged, so you don't need to worry about electrical. You take off this plate. Inside will be wire nuts that are screwed, that clamp the wires together. They basically screw the wires together. So pull off both of those and pull the wires apart. Now the wire nuts, I bought new wire nuts because I like to use new ones. You can sometimes use the old ones. There is also a grounding screw on here where the green wire is screwed onto. So you'll undo that. Now this part right here, it's already a little loose, but basically it just unclips like that. Sometimes they have a screw ring, which you can use that one again too, but we're going to use this cord again. Okay, so that's it for your disposal. Take the old one, put it out in your front yard, grow a flower in it. Your neighbors will love that. So now you take your new disposal, and this is the most important part of this job. Inside your disposal, where your hose hooks up right here, there is a plug. Because a lot of times people don't have garbage disposal, so you don't have a hose that hooks up into here. Because, so they don't have air gaps, so they don't have a hose that hooks in here. They just have a drain and it drains out. Or if you have a single sink or you don't have a dishwasher. But you have to knock this plug out if you have a dishwasher, because that's where the water exits from the dishwasher into this plug. So you just basically take your screwdriver and a hammer, knock the plug out. Your plug will then go into the disposal, so be sure to pull it out. Oh, it didn't quite come off. So let's try that again. There it goes. It's a little plastic plug. I'll show it to you in just a minute here. So it did come out, and it's in the disposal. If you're having a hard time getting out, this collar does come off. This ring comes off. And now I can see it. So here it is right here. This plug was in this right here. Let's get a close up on that for you. Yeah, there you go. Like that. So now it's gone. Now when you hook your hose in here, the water will go through. So put your ring back on. Be sure to put it right side up. And you put your rubber gasket back on. And now we're going to hook up the electrical the same way we unhook the other one. You take off this plate right here, and inside there'll be two wires, a black and a white. There it is. Of course, it helps if you don't have big old fat fingers like me. There. White. So now we're going to take our old cord. We're going to use the same clip. We're going to put it back in here like this. Now this cord has two wires and a ground. It does not matter which wire goes to black or white. So do not be concerned about that. But the ground wire does matter. The ground wire, which is green, will screw right onto that green screw. How about that, huh? It's almost like they had a plan. So, hook up that green wire. Clamp that green wire down really good. Out of all the wires, that's, I feel, is one of the most important wires, because it's basically what keeps you from getting shocked, is your ground wire, which we have other videos explaining wiring. So be sure to check some of those out. Okay. Now we hook up these wires, the two blacks from the extension cord. Put that back on there. Use a wire nut. And just screw them on hand tight. You can feel when they start getting tight. Give them one more twist. We get the other black wire from the cord, hook it to the white wire. Sometimes your extension cords will have a black and a white. It doesn't hurt to do black to black and white to white. Then you tuck these back in here, like this. Put your plate back on. Like that. Screw it on. There we go. Now it did come with some new parts here. Might as well use them because they are brand new. It's basically just three things. It's your black down angle. First you put your washer right in there, in the disposal. Take your clamp, wrap it around this. Put this on there. And then you take your two screws and screw it on. Where are we at as far as time on the camera?
9:33. On south on the patio now. Stop it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Well, let it go.
Okay.
Maybe because it's inside, it won't shut off after 10 minutes. Okay. And then you tighten this up. Okay. Go ahead and start it again. Okay, and now you take, you going? You take your old collar and your old washer, put down there. And now this is ready to reinstall. So you reinstall it the same way you took off the old one. You put your clamp back on the hose. And then you go ahead, climb under. You drop that pipe in there. You swing this around to get it lined up. And then your metal ring will just hammer right back on to the old ring. As soon as I find my baby hammer. Ah, here it is. There may be some bleeps in this video because every job that's hard to do requires grunting and cussing. Okay. Okay, that's on there. And voila. You tighten up this clamp down here. For your drain, you put your hose clamp back on. Oops. Still going, okay. Okay, I'm gonna try that one more time. It's going to be a tight fit because it's a brand new rubber gasket on the disposal. Sometimes it's a little bit easier if you have two people, but a lot of times you can't fit two people under the sink. So like I said, you put that in there, bring this around, put your metal ring in the right position so that it clamps on all three tabs. Like that. Now you hammer it on. There we go, much better. Before you put your hose back on, be sure to put this clamp back on your hose. Okay. And then you tighten up your hose clamp with your flathead screwdriver. Oops, let's get that camera up a little bit for you. Okay. You know, pardon the crudeness of the filming here, but I'm trying to show you, you can do this in less than 15 minutes. So I'm trying not to stop the camera, so you can see I'm not lying to you, which I wouldn't do anyways. You can trust me. Then you tighten up your collar. And voila, you're done. Plug it in. And usually, you're going to need to hammer that ring until it basically clips into place. Just like that. Badger 500. Make sure all of your clamps are tight on your trap because it might have worked loose. And now the ultimate test, run water down it. Okay, hey, not bad, no leaks, and we are at 15 minutes and 41 seconds. But I think we're gonna cut off the beginning of that where we were setting up the cameras. But basically, 15 minutes, it's not leaking. Try your switch, and there you go. We're done. So let's go play. You do have these extra parts if you want them. Now you can replace this drain. The only reason why you wouldn't is it takes more time, or if your old drain is corroded. Sometimes if your old drain is corroded, that means your sink's corroded too and you have a bigger job. Watch our video on how to replace your kitchen sink, and we'll show you that.
Moo.
So I know we told you to use the old connector for the electrical, but we're going to go ahead and replace the electrical with this connector right here. So these are very inexpensive, they're less than $1, but this is really the way to do it. The old connector, as you can see here, it actually broke and fell off. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this one on. So the first thing you would do is you would unplug your garbage disposal first. That's always the first thing electrical is unplug whatever you're working on. So you unplug the garbage disposal, and then you take off this plate right here. Phillips screwdriver, sometimes a flathead. You take off this plate, you pull out the wire nuts, you disconnect the wire nuts. Like I said before, it's black to black, white to white, and then you have a ground in there. You're going to need to take the cord completely off, because what we're going to do is we're going to take the cord off, and then this connector slides over the cord like this. You tighten these two bolts down, and this clamps it down. So this will keep the cord from pulling out from underneath the garbage disposal. And that's the problem with the old one, is it didn't really clamp down tight enough. So once you screw this on like this and you clamp it down. Now, as you can see, there's another ring on here. Pull this ring off, because you're gonna, on this particular unit of garbage disposal, this clamp just screws right into the garbage disposal. Sometimes it's just a hole and you'll need to put this ring back on the back side of it, but on this one we just screw it back on like this, and then you take the wires and you put them back together like this with the wire nuts, and then you put the plate on it, and then you plug it in, and voila, there you go. So do that with your electrical if you can. You can use the old one, but in electrical I always like to try to use new parts for this very reason, that it came off.
Moo.
The viewers of this video acknowledge that this company and/or any persons or other companies involved in the production of this video will not be held liable in any way for any projects performed by the viewer. Always check with your local city and/or county building departments before starting your project to ensure that you are following the current building codes and the latest ordinances. Take all safety precautions necessary. Make sure all tools are working properly, have all safety features installed and are also working properly. Be sure to wear proper eye protection at all times.
Moo.